Alrighty. I got this lit up on my. That's as much as it's gonna go. Okay. Alright, I'm back, guys. Next we're gonna get into something else, right? Alrighty. When you get Avon, well, I know maybe the ladies know a little bit more about this than the males, but if any males watching, I'll break it down for you. When we get Avon samples, right? You know, they're all cute and little and stuff like that, right? You know, some of them they smell good, right? Well, most of them, they smell pretty good, and you sort of be a little excited because you're like, okay, I'm getting to sample these for free, right? You're like, I'm sampling these for free, and I ain't got to pay no money, and I get to see what they smell like first. What they going, be like for me. Some of them I might not like, so some of them I might have to toss because I don't like the scent of them, or don't like it, Some of them you might like for the pretty little bottle and stuff like that. But they samples at the end of the day. Who gives a damn? They free samples, right? Okay. Now, that's all fine and dandy, and y'all bear with me with this, because I be writing really, really fast, and sometimes I have to stop because I mess up and I don't understand what I wrote my own self, okay? All right, so anyway, that's all fine and dandy when it comes to the perfume samples and all of that stuff like that, right? And I hope this one don't come out too dark, something little dark. But that's all fine and dandy when it comes to that, right? But when you finally decide to give out your sample, right, in a physical sense, your sample to other human beings, you may get almost the same thing. So some they just might want to smell you, right? They like to smell of you. Then you got some, they might just want to use you, right? And then you got others that just may simply want to throw you away. You know what I'm saying? It's simple as that, right? When you look at it, right? When you look at it that way, I don't know. I done messed up my papers. When you look at it that way, it sort of hit different, though, right? In the sense of when we relate it to human beings, right? And we giving out samples and stuff like that, right? Because if you look at it, like back in the day, right? It was where, you either would be virgins before marriage, right? Or with hopes of maybe at least abstaining from sex for some time before you become married, hopefully to make the union a little bit more sacred when you decide to come together, right? Okay. All right. So, but we must understand that when we do decide to be with the person that we choose, or decide to lay with anybody or somebody that we choose to lay with, we must understand that we are exchanging so much more than just orgasmic fluids and natural loin juices, right? When we have reached our full physical satisfactions, we're exchanging so much more than that, right? We're learning that, and that's when it becomes where it's like the depletion of the soul. Well, it could be enhancing to the soul, or it can be depleting the soul, depending on how you choose, right? Or who you decide to mess with, right? Or get a sample to. All right? This might be a little, moving through this because of, it's not together. So it's not no off the dome night tonight for me, right? Not all together. Okay. So anyway, which then leads us to what I like to call the knowing. The knowing is when you use your intuition. There go that word again, guys, right? Gut feeling, intuition, whatever. And all of your other foreseeing senses, that's when all that need to come to surface. When you decide, okay, should I give this sample out, or how should I do this, right? What should I do, right? Explain, you might ask. Okay. Prior to engaging with a person of your choice, you may get signs and symbols and premonitions and gut feelings, whatever, right? You may get those things, right? But sometimes, in the heat of the moments, those things often get ignored due to our own humanly lust. We're all human. So, just one touch, and I can't judge, I've been there myself, but just one touch all of a sudden can send you a electrical surge through your body. You know that feeling you get, right? When somebody touch you in the right way and you be like, oh, shoot. They touch you the right way. So you get sort of like an electrical shock, right? And right after that, next thing you know, from the one touch, next thing you know, it leaves you in shock one moment, and the next thing you're stripping off layers of clothes in the next moment, right? And then suddenly all that good intuition and gut feelings and foreseeing our stuff go right out the window, don't it? And it ends up right on the floor next to that half-open, unopened condom, right? That never made it where it was supposed to be, right? Okay, and that's what happened. You get aroused and all that stuff go crazy, and in the heat of the moment, things can go wrong. You know what I'm saying? Or they can go all right. I don't know whichever way you want to look at it. But what I'm trying to say is, okay, then after that, right, you leave or whatever, and that's when the thought process comes in, right? When you on that car ride home or whatever, whether whatever. But if you on the car ride home or something like that, that's when the thought process is coming, right? And suddenly you get a visualization of a big bald black guy sitting in your back seat of your car, right? Annoyingly interrogating you. And he doing the most back there. And the big bald black guy I'm talking about, the one from Minister Society that's in the back seat of your car. You can see him in your mirror, right? You looking in your mirror, you can see him in your back seat telling you, you done fucked up now, don't you? Right? You done effed up now. That's what he be back there telling you. You can see him all of a sudden after all that take place, right? Okay. And the sad part about it, no matter how much your brow might sweat and you be like in your thoughts and thinking about playing the scenes over and over in your head, over and over again in your head, like, golly, I messed up. Shoot, we ain't used nothing, or whatever, right? It's not the best thing, and some people can make it through that, but sometimes people don't. The heat of the moment and people don't make it through that. It just, things happen. Okay, so you playing it again and again in your head, and much as you are acknowledging what that big bald black guy is saying, you know what I'm saying, to you, somehow you find yourself in your bed after you finally make it home, laying in your bed, laying back saying, damn, that shit felt good, didn't it? Ooh, daddy, right? You find yourself in one of those moments, smiling and everything, even though you know daggone well you done messed up, right? Okay. All right, so okay. All right. Not knowing you may have just paid the ultimate price for something that you were not even shopping for. Now, this can be anything. It can be, you can end up in an unhealthy attachment. You can end up with an obsessive stalker. You can end up with orders of protection and even possibly a sexually transmitted disease, right? A lot of things can happen from those moments, but, we're all human. A lot of things can happen, right? So, okay, and trust me, like I said, at the end of the day, the stalking part, people will stalk you. I always found that a little crazy for me because it's like, what? You don't stalk me. You can just talk to me, right? But you got some people that'll stalk you. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of people that'll do it, right? And then they think you don't know that they do it, but a bunch of people will stalk you. I'm not spending all day watching nobody. You could just ask somebody. If you got something to say, just say it. Because, see, when it comes down to stalking and stuff like that, it does something with the trust and everything. You know what I'm saying? Just talk to people sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And I darn sure ain't hunt nobody down. Even in my relationship, I've never done that. The relationship that was actually a relationship, I've never done that. The only time I looked for somebody was when I locked my own self out the house. I've never hunted anybody down. No, hell no. You're not going to make me miss out on my favorite TV show. No, the hell you ain't. I'm not going out there looking around for nobody. If they out there doing what they doing, hey, whatever's going to come to the light, going to come to the light. Everything shows its head eventually, right? Can't hide everything forever. It just does. That's just the way things go. But that's one of the things that I just wanted to say, because we are human. You know what I'm saying? And in the heat of the moment, a lot of things happen. That don't matter whether you from 8 to 80, things can happen, right? So you want to be careful when you choosing to give out your own samples, right? And hopefully it won't be no sample. Hopefully, you'll get to the point where you find somebody that you love and that's your person. You know what I'm saying? Because love is a beautiful thing. If it's a beautiful thing, you know what I'm saying? And I always tell myself, I'm like, golly, I don't want to leave this earth and I ain't never been married in my life. You know what I'm saying? Because I am a hopeless romantic, y'all. I just am. I be on here cutting up, but no, I got my soft sides, when it's deep. I got my soft sides. Normally I'm a softie for the most part. But yeah, you got to keep that in mind. It's not Avon where it's just like, oh, okay, it's just a sample. I'm just gonna sniff this, whatever, and it don't mean much of nothing when it comes to something being a sample of perfume or something like that, or sample of food or whatever. But when we talking about human beings, right, we gotta take that a little bit more seriously on how we move, right? How we move, and I know it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes those one touches in the right place can have you all over the place, right? You know, some people halfway out their mind. But we got to think about that. Think about that. And like I said, the last time when I was talking about making sure we analyze people by not just what comes out their mouth, but their actions and different things like that. We really got to take some steps back to really think about things before we do them. Okay, and it's not a long one because it's just short, because I know I just wanted to add something else in there because I know that I haven't been on in a couple of days or whatever like that. But the message in all of this is stop giving out samples, and we'll talk more about the depletion of the souls as well. Due to unplanned and planned sexual activities and stuff like that. We're going to get into that a little deeper, as well as different things. Okay, but let me get back to the message of the day, and then I'm going to hop off of here for the night, and I'm going to try to get myself to get at least another one out for you guys tomorrow, okay? But the message for the day is stop giving out samples with the intent of making a profit from just anybody, right? Because trust me, there are some people whose business you simply do not want, right? So we got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? Really take your time. If you're just looking for fun, then by all means, have fun. Have fun. You know what I'm saying? But if you're somebody who's really looking for true love or something like that, or the one, quote unquote, really take your time. You know what I'm saying? Really take your time and don't rush the part. I know some people be wanting happiness so bad that you sort of rush the process. Like I said, hoping that it's the one. But we got so many shady characters out here. You have to really see what this person is about before you decide to do that. And it's hard enough, even when they display what they're about, that may not be accurate. So it's not easy to process those things. But try to use your good, healthy intuition if you can. You know what I'm saying? As much as you can. And really evaluate who you partner up with and stuff like that. Hopefully you'll find something long-term and loving. I'm telling you, I'll be on YouTube watching all the weddings and stuff like that. I don't even know them people. I'll be crying. I'll be like a little water bucket. Hey, I told y'all I love love, right? But I just have to make sure the right love come my way. But I love love, okay? And not like that. I'm not all over the place and mean or any of those things or nothing. I just try to present my messages in a certain way so that it will register, you know? and help somebody, right? Sort of register and help somebody. But I love you guys, and I'm going to say, I guess good night for the night. I don't have no prop at the end of this, you know what I'm saying? Now, unless y'all want me to stand up, I'm like the news reporters when they working from home. But I'm telling you, I love you guys. Y'all already know that. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so just be careful of that and mindful of that. I know that is, hopefully you are already partnered up or whatever. But if you're not, you know what I'm saying, and you're still looking for the one, take your time. It's worth it to take your time. Don't wind up in the land of why me and what the fucks, right? Don't wind up in that land. You know what I'm saying? And if you already wound up in it and took up residency with an old thorn bush, with an old picket fence around it, just live and learn from the lesson and keep it pushing, right? And keep your head up and stay positive through it all. Because we all human. You see what I'm saying? We all human, and I love y'all. I do. I sure enough do. I love y'all, and have a very blessed night. I'm gonna try to see y'all tomorrow or something, and hopefully by the end of the week, maybe I'll get out another little poem or something. Okay? Alrighty. Y'all have a good night. God bless. Bye-bye.